Welcome in to the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor, that's Nick. We got a special episode for you today. We got 8 other people in a Discord call watching us right now. That's why the video quality is a little down from what it usually is. But we are doing the inaugural Co-op 64 fantasy video game draft via Fantasy Critic, the amazing website that puts this together. We have 10 people total between the 4 founders and 6 lucky winners from their generous donations on Co-op 64 Day and 1 random hat pull. We got an amazing crew of gents joining us today to draft amazing video games and play Fantasy Critic with us throughout the year. How does Fantasy Critic work? Well, we're all going to take turns in a snake draft going through and drafting video games that are coming out in 2024. You get points by how well they score on OpenCritic. OpenCritic is a website that medians, that gives the median for all...
Mean.
The mean.
The average.
The average. Median is the middle.
Yep.
Mean for all... websites and critics and gives you
scores.
Gives you one centralized score. So you get a point for every point over 70. So if a game gets an 87 on OpenCritic, you get 17 points. If it gets an 89, you get 19 points. If it gets a 77, you get 7 points, so on and so forth. The only exception to this, if it scores above a 90, you get double points for every point over a 90. So if it's a 93, you don't get 3 more points for above a 90, you get 6 more points for above a 90.
So that would be a score of 26 for a 93
right.
Compared to an 89 is just 19.
So there's a lot of factors here. You have to you get 0 points if the game does not come out, but you can drop games throughout the year. If it goes under a 70, you get negative points.
So
you
a
have to factor that
62 would be -8.
So you want to pick a game that's coming out that you think is going to score well. That's basically the parameters.
Yep.
But there's some speculation here, of course. Is the new Switch going to come out? What games are coming out on it? That's a fun factor to factor in. We're going to go through each pick. It's a snake draft. I have the first pick. Let me go through our contestants here in order. Myself, CE Project Red is my publisher name with the first pick. Batted Degree with BD Studios with the second pick.
That's a good name, Batted Degree.
Yeah.
I just want to give you some credit there. That's just classic, couple letters. Good name. I enjoy it.
Brady with Princess Brady publisher. Nick with...
I'm Cobra Kai Studios, baby.
Because he
we
never
die.
Because he never dies.
The studio you want to kill? No. Never dies.
Smalls 9797. We're just going to refer to them as Smalls from here on, just to keep it tight and clean. Ubi Rock Hard.
not Ubisoft.
Not Ubisoft. They're Ubi
Rock Hard.
It's going to get degenerate here in a minute as the names go on. We have Big Mac, Big McDonald's Farm at the number 6 pick. Alex the Golden, Horny Warden, BBC, BBL, CBD, OSHA, LLC with the 7th pick.
This is what happens when we give any of our fans any power in any of our content.
Yeah, he is the warden of Horny Jail for our streams, so he has the ability to send people away when needed. Is it all good?
Yeah,
looking good?
Sure, you continue.
Just making sure it's good. Then at the 8th pick, we have Shane with Big Baller Gaming. There's an inside joke there that you guys don't know of. Straw Hat Gumby with the 9th pick. Grand Line Global. And Alec McLongdong with the 10th pick. The longest dong. So we will go 1 to 10.
Yep.
And then we will go back 10 to 1. It's a snake draft,
snake
back
draft.
and forth until we all have 5 games on our team.
And then we have a thing called the counter pick.
We'll explain the counter pick
when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there will be another round of drafting at the end. So it will be 6 total rounds of drafting, but 5 rounds of drafting games.
And the way that we're going to do this, it's just Nick and I on camera. We have the draft board in front of us. One of us will make a pick. We'll discuss the game, discuss the pick, and then we'll say, Batted Degree, you're up next. Batted Degree will draft. We will say their name. We'll say their pick. Discuss their pick. Go on to the next person, next person. Hopefully this goes breezy. A solid 2-hour podcast.
Just a quick 2-hour podcast.
Just a quick 2-hour podcast. We're going to get into it.
Maybe more.
I hope you guys enjoy this as much as we are. It's one of my favorite things to do in gaming. It's a lot of fun. Starting draft. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
Did it start? Is it started? Already started?
Yes, it has started. Oh, shoot. I need to mute my computer real fast.
Yes, you do.
Because that made the noise. It will make a jingle for you guys when it is time to pick. I have the first overall pick. Draft game.
So, Connor, where does your mind go here?
I want something that I think can score in the mid to high 90s, potentially, and that I think is almost definitely coming out this year.
Okay.
But I'm risking it for the biscuit here a little bit, because it doesn't have a release date yet. But it has to come out this year. We are taking Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, with my first overall pick, Draft. How are you feeling about that?
We've discussed this, you and I, behind closed doors, of just like, I think it's the number one pick on the board. It's supposed to be 2024, and if you're telling me that there's any sense of guarantee plus 90 games, Elden Ring's where you look at.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, if I was in your shoes, I don't know if I'd have the stones to do it because it doesn't have a release date.
Right.
But I think
you gotta play to win the game, though.
Yeah, with a 10-person league, you can't win this league without having a 90. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to need a 90 plus on your team, and
but there's not that many games that I would say have a guarantee to score above a 90. This has a guarantee. It will score above a 90.
It will hit at least a 90. At least a 90. Yeah.
But everything else, I have my draft board written down here. I'm going to be crossing stuff out left and right. I don't know if anything else has a guarantee.
I will admit this to you. Right now, it was my number 2 on my board.
And we have our next pick. BD Studios. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with the next pick.
So here's the thing. We discussed this. I don't think it should be the number 2 pick, but there's no more safe pick in the entire draft. 88.
A solid 88.
No matter what. 87 with 90 upside. It could hit 90, maybe 91. But I don't think you're going to hit that 95 that's so desired. But at the same time...
It's a first rounder.
It is a guaranteed first rounder. It's deserving of a top 4 pick easily. It has a release date. It does not get more guaranteed in my mind of just a terrific, solid pick. And as I've said before, it might be an 88 on OpenCritic. It will be a 100 in my heart.
Yeah.
All right.
Our next up is Princess Brady. Brady, give us your first pick. Your first overall pick. With Final Fantasy VII Remake, I feel pretty confident that it's gonna hit and it's gonna be great. Brady's first pick, Persona 3 Reload. That was my number 2 on my draft board.
Number 8 on my board. I believe it. I'm not stoked with where I'm left at. By the way, I made my draft board before the dev showcase, so I had my next game up would be Hellblade 2. It is no longer my next game up.
Oh,
but I do
you were so confident leaving that developer direct.
It is now my number 5 game.
Okay.
So it's still my top 5. And I still feel really good that game's going to review
really far down my board.
I know. With that being said, so there was a lot of discussion of, like, that's probably going to be my first pick.
Nick is up now. Cobra Kai Studios. What are we taking?
So this is the worst part right now. There's a bunch of things that I think are pretty guaranteed. They have 2024 dates. They probably should hit. There's a couple ways I want to go. Obviously, there's things with dates. We've discussed my idea that Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be a great game. There's things like Tekken 8, which, I mean, it's Tekken. It's the most expensive major fighting game of all time. The amount of money. I heard that in a Max Dude video while I was grocery shopping today. And then there's the guaranteed Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon, in my mind, is the same level as these other things. But like I said, you're not going to win this draft unless you go and pick something that you think is going to have the potential to really do the damn thing. And when I think of something that can really do the damn thing, I'm going to go and put my faith in Atlas, as always, go with Metaphor, ReFantasia.
Great pick. That was my number 5 overall on my board. It's just a matter of if it comes out. That's really the X factor.
It's fall is what they have it slated as right now. I feel it can move.
It's iffy.
But we've seen a lot of that game. I think we're going to see even more of that game this year. Dude, I think that
it's the studio that made Persona 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, when you're talking about, and they're also not being held back by the shackles of a high school drama. Like, this is high fantasy-esque. Right. This is go and do what you want, tell the story you want. And for me, I feel good with that being my first pick.
The only issue with that is that the overall success and fame of like the Shin Megami Tensei series is not nearly as high as what Persona has become. So taking a step back from the high school aspects and then putting it back into like more of just a focus on RPG elements I think might hurt it in the long run, but I have a lot of faith.
But when we're talking about games that can hit 90, it's Atlas.
Yes,
like
Atlas.
there's like 3 or 4 studios and there's 3 or 4 games that can actually do it. I'd rather take my risk there than go with something like Silksong that I actually don't have faith that is actually going to come out this year.
Ubi Rock Hard, Smalls, you are up on the draft board.
They're about to draft. Can you look into making sure that you can auto-pick for someone if need be? I believe you can, but that's a commish. Smalls has got
it says it right here.
Okay, great.
I got it.
But yeah, we're in a spot where there's a lot of good games still on the board. I, right now, don't feel amazing with my pick. Like I said, I think that the top 4 were the top 4. I think P3 Reloaded would not have been my next pick. But, like, there's some guarantees on this board that now that I pick something that's not a guarantee, that's where I look. Where I want to start to get some guarantee points.
Right. I'm in the same boat.
Yep.
Smalls. Ubi Rock Hard picks Dragon's Dogma 2 with his first overall pick.
I love the pick. Dragon's Dogma 2, I said I think it's at least an 88. Capcom expects big things. I think that the fact that BG3 came out and it was as successful as it was, it's going to be hard to go and live up to that expectation. But if it's just really damn good high fantasy and delivers all the systems that you want and expect from a game like that, it's going to be an 85 plus easy.
I think it's a gamble, personally.
Really?
I'm more of the... Greg Miller was talking about it on the podcast. He said he's talked to people about it, and they say that who have played it, and they say it plays like a PS3 game. That's the first person I've heard say this, but that has wormed its way into my mind. And from what I've seen from Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm a little bit worried about it from a visual perspective, from a fluidity perspective when it comes to the combat, and then when it comes to RPG elements, it's going to get compared to Baldur's Gate automatically. So I'm afraid for it a little bit, but I think it has such a massive fan base or a cult fan base that I think it could pay off.
Big McDonald's Farm, Big Mac, is your pick.
To make this a little bit faster real quick, when we're discussing the next game, feel free to pick your next game. Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door. Alex is up next. I will pick for him. Great pick. I thought
Easiest.
That's my number 3 on the board.
It could be number 1 overall. It is in my top 5. It's my number 6 game. Like I in my mind, that is so guaranteed points that if it delivers, it's a 90 plus. It's one of the best games of all time. But yeah, I absolutely adore that as a pick. I think that it's a solid pick. And to build your team around something like that is that guaranteed 85 plus, has a 2024 on it, you got to feel good entering it and understand, hey, it's 2024. Also, if the Switch 2 does come out, you got to feel pretty good that that's going to deliver.
I just received word that Alex has arrived. We are not auto-drafting for Alex. Alex is on the board right now. Horny Warden, BBC, BBLC, BT, OSHA, LLC. Let us see your next draft pick real quick on Paper Mario. I thought that rated higher when it first came out. It has like a mid 80s.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the 90s.
No, it's
based off the way people have talked about it.
I think that it's one of those things that like they're going to update the systems. It's going to be better.
Plus, it was on the GameCube, which didn't sell well as a console. So not a lot of people were playing it.
Mario RPG OpenCritic.
Alex, pick at your leisure. You are up. You are good to go.
Super Mario RPG got a 84 on OpenCritic, talking about just like another high-res update.
What does it have originally?
Let me check.
Or on Metacritic. It might not even be on OpenCritic.
On Metacritic, RPG has a... Oh, that's the Switch.
Original SNES.
Yeah, I tried to...
Brady, if you could text me an update on where we're at with Alex picking, let me know what the situation is currently.
It only gives a Switch. It's too early.
That's fine.
How do you feel with where we're at in the draft thus far?
I feel good. Oh, big time, big baller pick. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Warhammer sometimes reviews really damn well. Sometimes
I'm afraid this game has been trying to come out for a while now. It was revealed a while ago. Let me flip my page. Warhammer.
Shane, you're good to pick.
45 on my draft board.
45?
But I think if it hits, you have a good shot of it being great.
For me, it is not listed. So
I'm just worried about it coming out. That's my big issue.
Yep.
But if it does come out, the Space Marine series did really well. Yeah.
My thing is, right now, first round, you're still trying your best to find something that you believe is going to come out and has the chance to get 85 plus.
Right.
For me, Warhammer, I'm in the boat of like, that's 85-ish and also has some inherent risk. And so I don't adore the pick. I would love to see Alex come out with a couple picks that will help build out his team in a way that either has high upside or a lot of safety.
Right.
Yeah.
Shane is on the board with Big Baller Gaming, BBG as the kids call him.
Yep.
I would really like to get one of my top 10 if I can get it all the way back to me.
I mean, I've already said, Hellblade is on my board very high up.
I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in my top 10 ready to go.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in my top 10 still ready to rip. By the way, Metaphor was my number 1 on my board.
Okay, Barrett Courtney.
Yeah, I feel good with it. I feel very good. Because for me, it's more guaranteed than Elden Ring DLC. But I
disagree. That has to come out this year. It has to.
They said at the end of last year, it's taken us longer than we think, and that's the last we've heard about this game.
Nick, this game came out in 21.
Yeah.
It came out in
22.
You can't release DLC for a game.
But if it's big enough,
2.5 years later,
yeah, they can.
3 years later, that would be wild. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth from Shane with Big Baller Gaming.
Most guaranteed points in the entire draft. The review embargo is going to go up, and Shane is going to start out his year with 16 points.
Mid to high 80s.
Easy.
Review embargo goes up in a couple days.
Yeah,
I think
easily.
Shane will get the first points on the board with that.
Yeah.
Strat Gumby, you are up on the board. Pick at your own leisure. I would love to get I would love to get into the Yakuza series, man. I'm not going to do it here, but I'm excited for that.
So for me, I'm
Hades 2.
So the way that Hades 2 and all open access games work is they just need to have a review scored up on OpenCritic.
Yes.
If it doesn't have a review score, it doesn't count. But to make that you feel a little bit better about yourself, Hades 2 was my number 5 game. Okay. I feel really good that it's going to get a review score.
I wanted nothing to do with it just because I don't know if it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
But I think it probably is.
I mean, people say, right now they say Q2 this year. That is where they have it dialed in.
I was just afraid. I was afraid to draft it myself.
But
Straw Hat Gumby, not afraid of anything.
I will say, not afraid of anything. Alec McLongdong has 2 picks here. He can do whatever he wants with
his first pick. He takes a Metal Gear Solid Delta.
It's in my top 10.
Snake Eater. It's in your top 10?
It's in my top 10.
Whoa, dude, that is not even in my top. Where are we looking? That is my number 34.
See, here's the thing.
I have another Konami remake way higher.
So, we've not seen more gameplay for that Konami remake.
But they said they're going to be talking about it soon.
I know. Do you think that we could see out of these games at a February Sony State of Play?
Yes, 100%.
If we do, and we get dates, it becomes all of a sudden a really good Sony game.
Yeah, I mean, Snake Eater automatically is one of the top highest rated games on Metacritic for PS2. So you would expect that even the remake,
it's got to be better.
It just needs to look amazing and play amazing, which it already does.
Yeah.
So just up-res it and give it a little bit of love, and you're golden here.
Snake Eater.
Snake Eater.
Oh no, I love the pick. It's in my top 10. It for me, that is a risk. It's another thing that I would love to see him now pair it and he's not made the pick yet. But a Tekken 8 makes sense for me after you go.
Tekken 8's not off the board.
It's not off the board yet.
Whoa.
It's, I believe, the highest rated game. For me, we'll get into my thoughts on the Tekken 8 demo and everything, but I'm not touching it.
Whoa.
I just don't like the way it plays. It's super in depth. All the fighting nerds are gonna love it. For the casuals though, it's not gonna hit. And I think that there's a lot of people the
people who review it though, are not the casuals.
There's some casuals that do.
Nick wanted a safe pick from Alec McLongdong. Alec McLongdong said, no. We're going Hollow Knight Silk Song here.
with the number 11
With
pick.
the number 11 pick, Hollow Knight Silk Song comes off the board. I had that low on my list just because, I had it at number 10 actually.
I had number 7 for me. So we are slowly but surely just removing my top 10. I have 2 games left in my top 10 now.
I think that's a great pick. If that's that, real quick, based off of my first pick, that I think I have the chance at a 90. Out of all of these games so far, I think Hades 2 has a chance at a 90, and I think Hollow Knight Silk Song does. That's it.
I think Metaphor also does, just because it's Atlas. It's the only other one.
Just because it's Atlas? Okay.
Just because it's Atlas.
Straw Hat Gumby, pick at your own leisure. Yeah,
I also think Metal Gear Solid Delta has a chance.
Damn it, Straw Hat Gumby sniped me.
That's a great pick.
That's what I was hoping to get.
That is such a good pick.
That wasn't even close.
It wasn't getting to you, I can tell you that.
That was my number 6 on my board. Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail. They just do not miss at Creative Business Unit 3 with the Final Fantasy 14 expansions.
At least 85.
At least.
Potentially 90s.
I think most of them are in the 90s or high 80s.
Can someone check, actually, that's on me. I'll go check, what?
Shane, you are up.
Which one should I check?
Endwalker or Shadowbringers, I think, is the highest.
Endwalker has a 92.
Damn.
Then Shadowbringers has a 90.
Has a 90. Whoa, Endwalker's higher?
I thought Endwalker was the highest reviewed one.
No, the fan base does not agree.
With that being said, if both of these games hit this year and get scores, then holy shit, you have the potential to just dominate this draft early.
Shane takes Tekken 8 off the board.
This is what we discussed before the draft. It is, let's just draft games that are going to get 18 points. If you get all 18
Shane
points,
currently
you're going to win.
will probably start the year off with 36 points because both of these games are coming out in the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then he's just going to bang.
Also, he's not taking any risk. These games are coming out. We know that they look great. They're going to play great. And I'm excited to see it.
For some reason, Tekken 8...
Whoa! Alex Golden pairs his Warhammer pick with Frostpunk 2. This is a game that I did not look into until preparing for the draft, and it looks great.
Yeah. And the first one reviewed quite well.
Yeah, for me, Frostpunk 2...
I had it at 20.
By the way, even though I just did discuss Dragon's Dogma being a good pick and everything when we were doing our predictions, I did have it at number 27 on my board.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would not have picked it.
I had it above you, and you still were talking shit to me about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't talking shit. I was just saying I still believe in this game.
Big Mac, you're up.
It's looking good. So here we go. What are you going to pair 1,000 Year Door with? Like I said, I want safety, and I don't think there's a safer pick in the entire fucking world than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
My 4th overall.
Yep, guaranteed points.
That's another one that
number
I think
11
could
on
hit
my board.
over. I think that could hit over 90
easily.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah,
Big Mac.
I love it. I'm all about it.
I got 2 more picks on my top 10, and we got 4 picks to get back to me. 5 picks to get back to me. Come on, give it to me, baby. What do you got, Nick?
Oh shit! It's not my pick. It's Smalls.
Oh, Smalls is up.
Yeah,
Smalls is up
I was about to say I do not know where I'm going yet, so that I'm thankful that I got a little bit of time.
No, I have 4 picks to get back to me. 1, 2, 3.
See, here's the thing: if Hellblade does get back to me, I gotta pick it. I just on the believe pick.
Well, it takes one thing off the board for me.
Yeah, you're not gonna get Hellblade if it's there.
I would like Smalls to also. I think Smalls is in a good spot with Dragon's Dogma 2 right now. The board is open.
Yeah,
he's got a guaranteed, I think, above an 80 currently.
Yep, and so you can pick hype. You can go for the 3D Mario pick. That's where I think round 3 is where we're gonna start to see some of the more creative picks.
Mm-hmm. I play this game safe though.
Yeah,
I really like to play this game safe.
Safe is so smart. It's what you gotta do.
Sometimes you want to go for the hype, and sometimes you want to just get your 80s and get out. You know what I mean? If you can average 85 or something like that, you're going to win.
Yep. Oh, you're by a lot.
Or really, if you can get every game that you pick to come out, you're probably going to win as well.
Do I think... I might have incepted Smalls, and they might be thinking, oh no, are they going to pick Hellblade? Should I pick Hellblade? Or it's the top game on the board right now.
Oh, Hellblade is the top game on the board currently?
Yep.
Let me look at the top games on the
board. Right
board.
now, it's Hellblade, Rise of the Ronin, Peach Showtime, Black Myth, Wukong, The Plexi Squire, Unicorn Overlord, Star Wars Outlaws, Alan Wake 2, Night Springs, Helldivers 2, and Stalker 2. All these things have definitive dates except for Plexi Squire and Outlaws. And Alan Wake 2, we just know is spring.
Right.
Which, I mean, right now, this second round, you're looking at a lot of things that you just want guaranteed points.
Brady, oh, there it goes. There you go.
Fuck! Oh, I wanted it!
Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, off the board by Smalls.
It was my number 5 game. Sorry. My number 4 game. I think that the first one reviewed in 81, in my opinion, it's going to get better, no matter what.
Uh-huh.
And from every single non-gameplay mechanic, it is perfect. Like, it's going to be as good as humanly possible. from an
Was it
experience.
visuals?
Visuals, audio, like just everything that's the untangibles. I think that game can hit a 90. I think it's
But
great.
gameplay is king, Nick. If it doesn't play
pick.
well, people aren't going to like it. You know what other game was gorgeous, was beautiful? The Order 1886.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I'm really just upset about the Final Fantasy Dawn Trail pick still. I'm still trying to physically recover from that.
Reeling?
Yeah, that was definitely something that I wanted in my life, and now it is gone, and I'm upset about it. So I got Metaphor. I'm feeling good about Metaphor. I can go into a couple different areas. I feel like I got to take points right now still. Just guaranteed good old-fashioned points. And with that... does Black Myth come out this year? It's slated. It's dated. But does it come out this year? I am going to take the guaranteed points right now and select Rise of the Ronin. For me, it's an 80 plus. I think it's an 82. I don't feel great about it. But now on the back end, it opens up my draft to go a little bit crazier if I want to.
That's my number 18 pick.
Yeah.
I think for those same reasons. I'm a little bit worried about it.
But it's the wordy, but it's coming out.
Yes.
This year. And also it'll allow me to, in the back half of the year, if I need to get crazier and pick up some games that like are crazier games or shoot for the stars, I will know where I'm at earlier on.
Right.
Compared to certain people that are like, I really need my November game to hit, and if it doesn't hit, I'm fucked.
Right. Brady is on the board. Princess Brady.
Does he go with Princess Peach Showtime, which I believe is the next highest hyped game on the watch list?
He does indeed. He needs it on his team. It's fitting the name.
Yep.
Princess Peach Showtime off the board.
How do you feel about Black Myth? That's the next highest game.
I'm not talking about it until somebody picks it.
I'm
not talking about it until somebody picks it. But Princess Peach Showtime, I'll talk about. I don't know. It looks fine.
83. It's got some Nintendo magic.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't get the Nintendo bump. BD, you're up. Go ahead with your pick whenever you feel. Honestly, at this point, we're rolling. We're rocking. We got the cadence down. You guys kind of know how much we're talking. Pick at your own leisure.
Yep.
If you're ready to go, just go.
Yep. Yeah, but I feel good about Princess Peach Showtime, especially in same thing that I was just saying about Rise of the Ronin, which I think has if the story hits, if the combat is as crisp as they want it to be when it comes to the flashiness of it, I think that it can be guaranteed 85, 86. Right. Compared to Princess Peach Showtime, I'm like, it's going to be a 81 to 84, but it's guaranteed points, and it pairs well with P3 Reload, which has the chance of 88, 89, feeling good. Black
Myth Wukong off the board.
You upset about it?
No, I don't want to pick it.
I don't want to pick it either.
It is my number 27, but it could kill me. That's the thing. That's the problem.
I have it at 21.
The problem here with Black Myth Wukong is that it looks amazing.
Yep.
But it's a unproven studio. It reminds me of Callisto Protocol, where it's like it looks amazing. We all hope that it's amazing. The hype is surrounding it in some capacity, and I feel like expectations can just be let down a little bit. That's the problem.
Every single time we see that game, it's like, oh fuck yeah, and then it does deliver. Like I'm in the same boat as you, where I was like, I don't want this on my team. It's my number 21, so if it got back to me, I probably would have taken it.
But if it pays off. It is a huge pick. People are saying that it has the potential to be Game of the Year this year. People are clamoring for another Souls-like game after Lies of P and after Elden Ring. They want it. Give it to them. So this could be it.
I think that it could be back half Lies of P-esque, 82, 83. I don't dislike the pick. It's just not where I want to be. Connor, take me through where your mind's at.
I have both of my top 10
still on the
potential picks left, yes.
And that's where you're going?
I'm going Unicorn Overlord with my next pick.
Great pick.
Vanillaware of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim fame, which scored very highly, has that kind of cult following around it that people who love that game bang the fucking drum for it and root it on and applaud it. It's similar to Persona 4 Golden, to Persona 5, where the people were freaking out about Persona 4 Golden. They were like, we need another one. This series is great. Persona 5 comes out, blows up. I think the only thing holding back Unicorn Overlord from being this massive success is the name. But I don't think that'll factor in to the score. With my next pick.
This feels as stressful as picking like fantasy football players that like we have to deal with for only 16 weeks because it's 52 weeks.
I might be changing it up.
Oh. Where would talk me through it and talk the audience through it?
I could get my next pick back to me. That was the problem.
Oh, so you feel like there's a chance that you can get 20 picks later, another pick?
Potentially.
Damn.
Looking at the draft board here.
I mean, the draft board is.
I'm gonna do what I think is best.
Okay.
What is gonna score the highest potentially? I'm gonna take a proven studio that has been working on this game for a very long time, an indie darling, in Yacht Club, Mina the Hollower.
Wow.
The Game Boy inspired retro game that is coming out. It was supposed to come out last year, did not. So the fact that it was so close to coming out last year, it's got to be coming out this year. It has to be. Mina the Hollower with my third pick. Mario versus Donkey Kong remake. I think that is a rock solid, guaranteed points from BD Studio. Great pick from Batted Degree there. Batted Degree's team is as follows: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Black Myth Wukong, Mario versus Donkey Kong.
That's a good squad.
Good squad so far.
That's a really good squad. Princess Brady, you're up.
Mina the Hollower was 8, and Unicorn Overlord was 9 for me.
We're getting into it.
I still have all of my top 20 except for one game. Or from 11 to 20.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm nervous right now with is my thing is I feel good where I have, in my opinion, if Metaphor comes out, guaranteed 85 plus.
Right. Rise
of the Ronin, 83 plus. So I want to see if Brady also has. Brady and I think, have the exact same team in my mind. Hell Divers 2.
I love it.
In my opinion, it's so safe. It's an 80, guaranteed. Yeah. I don't think it has the potential to be 90. I don't think it has the potential.
I think it could. 80, it depends on how good, how much of a step up it is. I think it looks great. Nobody's played it yet, though. That is the only concerning thing. The fact that nobody's played it is kind of weird to me.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there should have been a beta or something at this point. There has not been. This game comes out in 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Early February.
My pick has been made.
Unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer from Cobra Kai Studios. Nick, you're out of your mind.
You think I fuck around?
You're out of your gourds.
You think that I'm playing for third place?
No.
No. That game, if it comes out, is a 95 plus.
That is true.
Guaranteed.
That is
the type of draft pick that makes me win this thing.
That's true.
And so I feel good. Is the Switch going to come out without a 3D Mario? I think that there's a better chance of Shane McNabb bursting through that door, flying up from Atlanta, and beating your ass. Not going to happen. I feel good. Someone had to do it. And here's the thing. It's one of those things that it's on someone else's team you're upset about. You don't want that on someone else's team. You want that on your team. And I feel good about
Ubi Rock Hard from Smalls9797 picks Silent Hill 2 Remake. That is the Konami game that I think is going to score higher and is going to come out this year. I think it's almost guaranteed to come out this year based off of the way that that Bloober team is talking about it, wants to talk about it, apparently. They're deep into development on it. And
also,
you don't have to do a lot to that game.
You don't. And it also got discussed in 2022.
Right.
It's been a while since we've heard about it.
Right.
When they even showed it off, it looked pretty good. I'm all about it. And honestly, I adore Small's team right now. This is a team that I would love and be proud to have because you got the guarantees, in my opinion. You got the games that have release dates, and then you got the hype factor.
And Big Mac takes Alan Wake 2 Night Springs off the board. Another guarantee in
83 plus.
Right. It's just a matter. The only thing that it's a matter of is how big it is and how fleshed out it is. If it's a really small bite-sized experience, then people might kind of have.
I think then it's
80
something.
Right. But it's Alan Wake. And
it's Alan Wake 2.
It reviewed really well.
It's our tied game of the year last year. Right. It's one of the best games of all time. And honestly, if they just give a little bit of goods, then you're good to go.
Alex the Golden just absolutely digging in to Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl right now.
It's got a date, dude.
It's got a date. September?
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
September or August.
But there's a lot of hype around this game. A lot of people excited for it. It's been long in the tooth for this game to finally come out.
September 5th. You got to feel good about it with just the idea of not only is it going to be guaranteed points, but it's got a release date. At the end of the day, everything needs a release date. And speaking of everything needs a release date, Big Ballers Gaming, Shane, it's got the next pick, one of our founders, has the most guaranteed lineup thus far. Do they get risky now? This is where I'm.
I don't think so. Shane doesn't seem like a risky guy.
You got to get risky at a certain point.
Yeah.
Because right now this team is built for a third place, but they need some extra spice to come in
Right.
and really deliver the goods.
Right. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options currently for my 11 through 20 that I'm hoping to get.
I have a few options on the board that I like.
Right.
For me, I'm in turtle mode where I'm like, I got my crazy pick. Now I just want points.
That's the thing is I feel like I have guaranteed points outside of Elden Ring.
Yeah, but that's your crazy pick. I feel like Elden Ring, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, these are things that, like, if you pick and you hit on, you can win the league. But if you don't pick them, it's really hard to win the league.
Big Baller Gaming goes with an indie darling, Animal Well, which I believe is Donkey's studio.
That's
Is
wild.
his publisher, yeah.
That's
Animal
awesome.
Well is on my list somewhere. Number 40.
And now we have, in my opinion, right now the best team in the league. Hades 2, Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, Straw Hat Company. Really, the world is your oyster because I think you have the high points and also some guarantees.
Right. So you can go either way. You can go back to guaranteed points, or you can kind of just stew in the unknown a little bit.
I mean, if they just rip like Metroid Prime 4 right now, I would like just standing ovation them just for the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Dude, I am staying the fuck away. Like, it would have to be my last pick to take Metroid Prime, and even then, I think I'd wean you out of it. Earthblade, great pick,
dude. It's where I think it's 13 on my board.
Right.
It is 19 on my board, but once again, I need to move things like Indiana Jones down a little bit.
It is 17 on my board, but it's one of those situations where I did have this listed as a potential 90, at an 89.
Yep.
But it's a matter of if it comes out this year.
It could not come out
this
also want to make this very clear. My last pick was between that, Silent Hill 2, and Earthblade. Earthblade, for me, is the most guaranteed of those to hit this year, because we saw it in 2022, and it looked pretty good at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it did look deep into development.
Yeah, and so I feel you're doing what I want to be doing, and then, in my opinion, Alex McLongdong also has a great squad, a great foundation with Snake Eater and Silk Song. The games that
Heavy
can
hitters.
Win the league easily.
If they hit.
In my opinion,
it's a matter of if they hit.
One of these next two picks, because he's got the snake, has to be a safe pick. And talk about safety.
Drive, great pick.
Pacific
that is
Drive.
my number 11 on my board.
Really?
Yes.
You're feeling
I have a
good about
lot
it?
of confidence in this game. This game looks fucking awesome.
It looks cool.
Yeah. And Sony's putting
money into
money
it and
behind
marketing
it. Yeah.
into it.
They want this game to be great. I think that is a great fucking pick. Safe pick.
Yeah.
In my
very
opinion.
safe. Very good.
It pairs very well with the rest of his team
Yep.
of Metal Gear Solid, Delta, Snake Eater, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and now Pacific Drive for Alec McLongdon.
And the board is once again his. We're going back up. We are now entering round 4.
Watch him pick my 12th pick.
Dude, I'm
if 12 gets back to me, I want 12 to get back. Please.
Do you think it will?
There's a chance.
Did you play the game with it a little bit? Like being like,
no.
Oh,
I just have I'm taking whatever is the highest on my board.
Top on your board.
Yep.
For me, it's hard to get too crazy with it. Right now, Pluxy Squire, Star Wars Outlaws, and Avowed are the highest ranked games, and then there's things like Path of Exile 2, Visions of Mana, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, all up there also. So it's going to be pretty goddamn interesting to see where we go from here.
Let me see where do I look at the games?
Watch list.
Watch list.
Alex goes and says,
Alec.
Alex says you want some crazy sauce? You want some wildness? Metroid Prime 4
Whoa!
off the board. He believes, and I'm going to be honest with you, I believe too.
I do not. My number 43 on my board.
On the things that can potentially come out and pair well, I think Metroid Prime 4 sits so well with a 3D Mario game. 3D Mario game, Metroid Prime 4, they show what the console can do. You show Call of Duty Warzone in that trailer also to say, hey, this game, we got some power going in this console. Metroid Prime 4, I feel like is that showcase.
Does it come out on both Switch and Switch 2?
No.
Yes, it has to. It has to. They announced it for Switch 1.
And then Straw Hat Company says, you want to know what I want a little bit more in my life? That Final Fantasy shit.
That Creative Business Unit 3, they're really digging into them. Final Fantasy 16, The Rising Tide, that was in my top 20. That was my number 19.
What was the first one called?
Echoes of the Fallen.
Well, let me see how that reviewed.
It's smaller.
I know it's
that is a factor.
Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy Echoes of the Fallen. 76.
Interesting.
So not too.
I think I have faith that Rising Tide will be in the 80s.
Yeah, because it's The new icon, right?
Yes, the new icon, new major icon battle.
Yep.
Between the two summons or whatever.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be longer, meatier,
yep.
bigger.
I'm about it. And I think that when they were discussing these two, everyone knew the first one was the appetizer. This was the main course. And so I'm excited to play it. A lot of people asked me in chat on Friday and on Thursday. I got 2 different comments being like, hey, have you played FF16? And for me, I'm just waiting at this point for both of them to come out.
Well, you can play it right now because you're at the end of the game. You never restarted it, right? You just rip it if you want it.
I think I restarted it.
What?
I think I might have restarted it.
Oh,
or
no.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'll see.
We are waiting on Shane currently. His team, as it stands, is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Tekken 8, and Animal Well. I feel like this is a very safe team, but a very good team. Very rock-solid foundation. Let's see if he gets crazy here.
Come out. What is Animal Well? Animal Well has a early 2024 estimated release date. So you got to feel good about it.
Rift of the Necro Dancer. I didn't even have this on my board because I like glossed over it for some reason. I think it's a great
it's
pick.
down my list quite a bit, but it is on my board. I think
Rift of the Necro Dancer scored really high, but I don't think this is a release date yet. Correct?
It does not. I can Crypt.
Banisher's Ghost of New Eden from Alex the Golden. I'm not familiar with this game. I feel like I've heard of Banishers, but that is Alex's next pick, Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. Warhammer 40k, Space Marines 2, Frostpunk, Stalker 2, and Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
Crypt of the Necrodancer on Metacritic has an 87.
That's really high.
That's really high.
So if Rift comes out.
For a 4th round pick, if it hits, it's going to hit. What do you feel about Banishers? It's got a date. It's got a date for February 13th. You got to feel good about it.
Home World 3, March 8th, 2024. Unfamiliar with this game.
So let's see if Smalls screws me over again.
Big Mac, real quick. Big Mac takes Home World 3. I just want to shout that out. Hype factor is high, but it has an early release date and a high pick rate in other drafts. So he knows something that we do not.
Yep. You got to feel good about that pick.
Our fan base with the big brain. Just massive brains over here. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4 options in my top 20 that I'm looking to get back to me here. We have 4 picks to get back to me. We are at Smalls currently, who currently has Dragon's Dogma 2, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. I see a theme here.
They know that last year, every single Game of the Year nom was a sequel or a continuation of a franchise.
There you go.
That's how you do it. I don't even know what I want them to pick, but I just want them to not pick something that I want.
Is there even another? Yeah. Oh no, shoot. I did not cross that Hellblade 2. Is there another 2 thing? Yes, I have another 2 on my board. Another 2. I have 2 more 2s that he could pick
if he wants to
deuces? If he wants to keep the trend running.
Oh man, I'm so nervous right now with what this next pick's gonna be. By the way, Rise of the Ronin was number 20 on my board. So I had some games higher, but I wanted to get something with a date because I knew I was going to be coming back with the 3D platform.
Rise of the Ronin was number 18 on my board.
Yeah. And it's not about knowing that it's going to review well. It just was the highest thing. That
Little Nightmares 3 from UB Rock Hard, a.k.a. Smalls9797, with his 4th pick. I think that's a great pick. A well-beloved series, Supermassive Games taking over the reins for this one. Co-op. The only concern there is that they're switching studios, but they're switching to a great studio in Supermassive. So I think that's a great pick, personally. What do we got next?
Right now, I'm looking at some indie titles that are good. They're quality. Then there's things like Dragon Age Dreadwolf that is a big swinger, but I don't have faith that it's going to come out yet. And then there's something that I really want to do, which is draft the next Mario Kart 8 game. But I am going to stick safe with this next pick, and I'm going to go with my gut. It showed really well. This game made me want to play it not too long ago, actually 4 days ago. I'm drafting Visions of Mana with my next pick.
Nice. That is in my top 20.
It's one of those things that's just like summer. We've seen a lot of it. If it gets delayed, it's still delayed into this year. It looks really good.
Yes.
It looks like a game that I would not want to play. They made me want to play it. That says a lot about how it's shown up.
That seems very much up your alley, honestly. An action
JRPG. It's cute as hell, and also it's got a summer date. For me, it looks like an 83 to an 87, and right now, with my team, I'm trying to do what Shane is doing so masterfully right now, which is develop a team of a bunch of 85 pluses, but I also got the spice in there.
Right.
You got to get the spice in there.
Brady with the spice. Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. 2024, a loose 2024 window is what that game has.
Here's the thing. It's 2024 window. Let's just don't say loose. It's a 2024 window.
That's my lowest ranked
of the three
Xbox games we saw.
I have Avowed right next to it.
I have
Avowed right below it.
I had Hellblade first, Avowed second, and then Indiana Jones
I had
third.
Hellblade, Indy, Avowed. I just don't see Avowed getting above an 83.
Right.
Where I do think machine games don't miss. Can we stop? Like, this was the debate that we were having. Now we've been able to settle on it after a few days. Machine games doesn't miss.
Right.
Like,
that's the only thing that
that's what you got.
I'm most excited for this.
It's almost, in my opinion, I know this is a bold statement. I'm not saying that this game is going to be as good as this game, but Uncharted going into The Last of Us, where it's like, yeah, Uncharted's great, and now they're doing something a little bit different. Not a lot of faith there, and then it was terrific. I believe that you have to have the faith.
I don't agree, personally.
Okay.
We've seen them miss with the offshoot one.
Yeah, it's not Twin Stakes. I want to call it Twin Stakes. Wolfenstein, Youngblood.
Youngblood, yes.
Yeah. BD Studios, bad to agree with the next pick. They got a great squad right now, lining up with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I wanted a world where it fell to me. I knew it wasn't going to.
Black Myth Wukong, which could be their home run. That could be their ace in the hole.
That's the thing, where I think this team does have a spice level, and it comes from Black Myth. But they also have the guarantees with
yep.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake and FF7 Rebirth. And now, where do they look with their next pick?
Destiny 2, The Final Shape. Here is my thing about Destiny 2, The Final Shape. Bungie is hurting right now.
They're dying.
Lightfall,
not good enough.
Great. But they must know this. This is their last hurrah. They need to go out on top. This is the most prolific live service game of all time. Destiny 2 is a powerhouse, and it can still be a powerhouse for the people who have loved it for basically a decade at this point, between Destiny and Destiny 2. I think The Final Shape could be great. They're bringing back a well-beloved character.
Yep.
I think it's a solid pick. Before Lightfall, these Destiny 2 expansions were like
great.
Guaranteed points.
For me, this comes down to worst case scenario, it's a 78.
Right.
And you get 8 points out of it.
Right.
Best case scenario, it's 18 points. It's an 88, an 89, maybe even a 90. So I like the pick a lot, especially at this point with your team. Like I said, that's guaranteed points in my mind. It's also gonna hit this year. It's got a release date. So
my final two picks.
I'm curious to see where you go.
So I have 1, 2, 3 games left in my top 11 through 20.
Okay. So you really have the pick of the litter then of what you want to do.
I'm going to go with my guaranteed points here. There is a demo out for this game. It is getting rave reviews from the demo. It is early in the year. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
That was
a long time coming.
I was praying it got back to me.
It's finally coming out. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
My last pick was Visions of Mana or Grand Blue, and
I get.
God damn.
I get another pick here. I'm between, in what I have left in my top 20, I have Stellar Blade and the Plucky Squire. And I'm going to go Stellar Blade.
Really?
Yes.
I am shocked.
They've said midway through this year is the plan.
It's the goal.
Plucky Squire should have been last year, but I think Stellar Blade...
He's not pulled the trigger, chat. He's thinking about it now.
I like Stellar Blade. I want Stellar Blade.
You just want it on your team. You just want to champion it. But you know the Plucky Squire is going to review better.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's so charming.
Dude, it's so cute. It's a game that everyone's going to play.
Do you want Stellar Blade or something? Is that what's happening right now? I'm taking the Plucky Squire.
I would have picked the Plucky Squire over Stellar Blade 10 times out of 10.
So my final team, as stands now, we will all pick up 4 games after this throughout the year.
Yep.
Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree, Unicorn Overlord, Mina the Hollower, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and the Plucky Squire.
Right now,
I have some early games in the year.
That's always what you want. You want to have a couple of early games.
Grand Blue and Unicorn Overlord are guaranteed.
Yep.
Mina the Hollower was supposed to come out last year, so it should come out this year. Elden Ring, I feel confident in the Plucky Squire, same deal as Mina the Hollower. BD Studios, batted degree, up to the plate.
For me, Shadow of the Erdtree is the only thing that's a question mark there, which is like, but if it hits, it's like there's certain games on here that are, in my opinion, top 10 picks. It's if it hits, it's a 95, and it's a FU to everyone.
There's a game in my top 25 that I think could easily not get drafted, and I could easily find myself picking up after the draft right away.
Okay.
I feel confident.
For me, I will be placing bids immediately after the draft.
Yes, we will explain to the masses after this
how
this all
filling
works.
out teams work.
Right.
Bad degree, taking their time, but I like it. You got to take your time. It's your last pick. This is the last game that you have a guaranteed of picking up. I'm really upset, and they picked what would have been my next pick. Star Wars Outlaws.
Wow, that is ballsy. I respect it though.
If
this game comes out, I think it's going to do really well.
I think it's an 83 guaranteed if it comes out, and it has the potential to hit that 88.
It's the most hyped I've been for a Star Wars game since Jedi Fallen Order, which I guess technically isn't that long ago. But we've had some rough Star Wars games over the years recently. Outlaws, I think, could be better than Fallen Order and Survivor.
So BD Studios is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Black Myth Wukong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, Destiny 2 The Final Shape, and Star Wars Outlaws.
Brady picks Prison Architect 2 with his final pick. Never heard of this game.
Yep.
Can we get a score on Prison Architect 1, please?
I'll look it up. I got it.
And Nick is up to the draft board. I should
you actually should look it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I also want you to read off Brady's team.
I think we're going to go back through for all of them.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I really wanted Grand Blue with this pick to close out my draft.
It has an 80. Prison Architect 1 has an 80.
That's good.
That's
solid.
Yeah, we take that. We take that for Brady.
Then there's things like Dreadwolf. Like I said, hugely could hit.
If you pick Dreadwolf, I'm flipping this table.
Why?
I
Do you think
swear
there's
to God.
not a chance it hits?
There is no chance it hits, and there's no chance it's good.
Yeah.
There's no way. BioWare is a shell of their former selves. They suck now. They cannot make good games. Everybody who was good who worked there beforehand is gone. I have no faith in this game whatsoever.
Do I get soapy, Connor? Do I pick Film Stars?
I have Foam Stars on my board.
It's on my board. I'm not going to pick it.
Nick, I'm not going to
Yeah,
I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you here.
I'm going to go with a game that has a adorable art style. It is early 2024. I'm going with Penny's Big Breakaway. Looks cute as hell. Super excited about it. And, yeah, like I said, I am not in a place right now where I give a damn about the act, like whether it's going to deliver the points that I need or anything. It is about early games and let me maneuver post Summer Game Fest, all the announcements. Let me make a move and step up to the plate, do something cool.
We see all the big announcements from the various showcases. When Xbox goes, when PlayStation goes, when Nintendo finally speaks. That's when you can make your pivots.
Yep.
But for right now, like you just got to take the board as it is.
Connor, do we get a direct before a Nintendo showcase?
No.
You're saying next time we hear from Nintendo is console?
It should be, in my opinion. If I'm Mr. Nintendo over there, I'm not showing anything until we show the new console.
Yeah. Do you wait until PC
The last direct was so bad.
I know.
It was just uncomfortable. Like it's like you can just tell that they're on life support at this point. Just give us the next console, please. Ubi Rock Hard, Smalls,
with the
up to the plate with their last pick.
Oh, I love Smalls' team. I really like Smalls' team. I think that, by the way, I just want to shout out everyone that showed up today to go and pick games. All the people that are part of this league really did a great job.
Crushing it right now.
Certain teams I like better than my team. I can say that out loud, yeah.
With their last pick, Stellar Blade. Nick, I can't believe you did not pick Stellar Blade. I can't believe it.
I think
this game looks fucking awesome.
It looks cool, but
and it's also got butts in it, Nick. It's got butts in it.
I don't think it's got butts. I think it's got butt in it, and it is anyways. It's a game that I'm going to play. That's the other thing where I'm like, I kind of want to pick certain games that I'm not going to guarantee to play because then I will play them just to review them. And then at this point, here's the thing. The goal is get on Metacritic, get verified by Metacritic, and then I just review all my games really high that I drafted.
Don't say that out loud.
I'm just kidding. I would never do that.
World of Goo 2 with Big Mac's final pick.
It's a great pick and reviewed damn well the first one.
It's a long-awaited sequel. I think that is a great choice here.
Good puzzles. puzzles games can really do well.
I have so many things left on my board that I'm going straight in for after this. We are up for Alex the Golden.
Yeah,
here.
there's a lot of gas left on those.
Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, Spring 2024. It is a remake of Shadow of the Ninja. Nick is coughing.
Excuse me.
I think that is a rock solid final pick.
There's a game on here that I am really hoping does not get drafted.
Okay. We're about to get into the counter picks. We have 3 more regular picks here.
And then we get into counter picks.
Oof.
How you feeling?
I feel great about my team,
I am
honestly.
so tired right now.
You're tired?
I'm still coming down from the food coma that is the Lions are smoking them.
The Lions are smoking them? Yes.
It is. Oh, sorry. It's now an 8-point game with Lions had the ball on the 40.
Shane is on the board here. 1 more pick. Let's see what he takes. Took Rift the Necrodancer last. We were scratching our heads a little bit there, and then realized we were big dummies.
This team is just solid.
Right.
Which here's the thing. In a normal fantasy critic draft, I think that this is the way to play. But with 10 people, it's going to be hard to win this league without something big on your team.
Is that how you play 16-man leagues?
Yeah, you can't. You're playing for 3rd place if you're drafting a safe squad. You need to go and have something on it, hit on a pick that has high upside. Which I mean, the last 2 teams on this are just upside. Longest dong is terrifying how much upside is on this fucking team.
Right.
I'm at the point though where I'm like, this Alec is rolling the dice or flipping a coin 3 times, and he needs to hit on all of them to really have a good chance.
If Alec gets all these games to fucking come out, he's winning the league for sure.
Shane picks up Path of Exile 2,
a well-storied franchise. People love Path of Exile. I feel confident.
Its release date is estimated for second half of 2024, and that gets me nervous.
A little bit. Because
I don't know if it's going to come out, but the safety on the team is there, and he has 4 open slots to be able to go and pick something up, maybe pair it. There's going to be, though, a certain point, though, of we might waste a lot of our money on games today, but if there's a Switch announcement, let's just say Ocarina of Time remake gets announced.
Yep. It's a dangerous balancing act that you have to just always factor in what you think.
This year is a console year is the big issue.
Right.
Where it's if you played this game in 2021...
Yep. World of Warcraft, The War Within, the new expansion pack for World of Warcraft, is what Straw Hat Gumby takes with their final pick.
I think that they're just saying, hey, I have 2 great indie games with Hellblade 2 and with Earthblade from storied developers. I'm going to elsewhere take the points. We got expansions, we got DLCs, we have guaranteed, hey, these games have performed well, now they're just expanding it, and it's going to do well.
All right, and then South Park Snow Day with Alec McLongdong's last pick. I believe we go back around for the counter pick now. Everybody wait for the counter pick. Let me explain it to the podcast audience real fast. The counter pick is where we all go back through one more time and select a game on anybody else's team.
Yep.
As long as it has not already been picked by somebody else, that we think is going to perform poorly or not come out.
Yep.
A good result from a counter pick is getting a 0. That would be good because you get 0 points if the game doesn't come out. For the most part, games are going to hurt you with the counter pick, but you want to minimize the damage.
So the way that the math works on it is for every point that it gets in the positive for your counter pick, those are negative points on your team. Every point of negative that it gets, they are positive. So if it gets a 63 on Shane's team, and I counterpick that game, I would get those 7 points. Well, he would get negative 7 points. But if he gets an 87 that I counterpick, I would get minus 17 to my team. So 0 is a great result. You want a game that you believe either is not going to come out or will review poorly as your counterpick. Alec, whenever you are ready to make your counterpick, like Connor said, it has to be on any other team, and it cannot already be counterpicked. So when it gets to Connor, there's going to be 9 games already counterpicked. He has to go and choose something.
I thought I was the first one to pick for the counterpicks.
No, there's snakes. That's why when we picked 5
So if there was 6 rounds, would I be the first one to counterpick? Interesting.
Yeah. But this is it should always be an odd number. So
You're right.
The counterpicks are it fully snakes back.
I am so stuffed up right now.
Really? Do you want
World of Goo 2 with the first counter pick. I like that pick. I don't have a lot of faith in that game coming out.
I think it might not come out this year.
Did
but
they put a year on it?
Nope, it says 2024 estimated.
No, they put a year on it, though. Oh, it's just estimated. They
Yep.
didn't say 2024. Oh, interesting.
And then Straw Hat Gumpy says, "Hey Brady, go fuck yourself." Indiana Jones, the Great Circle for the counter pick.
I like the balls on that pick, personally.
Here's the thing, though. It is a high risk, high reward play, in my
Yep.
opinion, because if it comes out, I think it's 85 plus guaranteed.
No, I think it could be low 80s.
Okay.
So I think at its worst, you're getting like a -12 for your team. I think at your best, you're getting a 0 because it's not coming out.
I think at best -0, at worst 88.
Okay.
So 18
I disagree.
points negative. Yeah.
Shane is up for the counter pick now.
But I like that we're disagreeing on this aspect of what that year is going to look like.
Hell Divers 2,
So-
a non-believer.
So another Brady game. So people are already sniping
People
Brady's
are
team.
bagging on Brady's team right now. I don't believe in it. I think Helldivers 2 is going to be a mid to high 80s.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this
I
game.
think I'm the opposite of you on this. I think 82-ish is where it's going to end up being.
And since I
Dude,
know Shane in real
Sifu
life,
got an 80. Like, there's games
yeah,
that,
because
like...
there's issues with Sifu that people you either get it or you don't get it.
Yeah.
I get Sifu, dude. Sifu's fucking awesome.
Sifu's rad. I only played it for 3 hours. That was a good 3 hours. You feel like a master. It's great.
It demands mastery, but if you don't want to just replay the level over and over again, like, you might just be turned off by it. You either like that design or you don't. I love that design. Silent Hill 2 Remake.
For Alex the Goldens.
Alex the Golden's counter pick. I assume that is because they do not believe it's coming out this year, which I appreciate. I think that is a better chance, or as good of a chance of any game on here to not
come out. For me, I said at the start of the year when it got revealed that Delta and Silent Hill 2 were in that trailer of potential games to launch in 2024, I said to myself, guess what? One of those is not most likely releasing.
Right.
I think that is more likely for both of them to release than none of them, but I think the most likely outcome is one of them does not release. I don't dislike the pick at all. I should probably look around at...
I'm barely looking right now just to kind of get some sort of
I've been
idea.
podcasting too much, dude.
Right.
I need to redial it in.
They got an advantage over us, dude.
Yeah. I would hate... I might do it. Oh, man.
This is tough.
Shadow of Ninja Reborn is the next counter pick from Big Mac. I get it. It's a remake, but it's spring. If it comes out, I could see it being
Who's
10 points.
This?
I do not know. I'm looking around, just trying to figure out where the hell I'm going. And Ubi Rock Hard.
Atari's.
Ubi Rock Hard makes the biggest gamble we'll see all day and picks the unannounced 3D
I thought
Mario
about doing it.
platform.
I thought about doing it myself. I'm honest.
Here's the thing, though.
It'll kill you if it comes out.
If it comes out, you'll lose.
It's KO.
You lose.
But otherwise, I think it's one of the only things that's is it the only unannounced game that we have on here?
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah.
What I mean,
that's as good of a bet as any, in my opinion.
Yep. Wait, let me actually see when that game is projected to come out. It's got a release date. I can't pick something with a release date. There has to be a chance that it gets delayed.
So far, so good on... Nobody's counterpicked anything on Shane's team, and I'm staying away from that. Nobody's counterpicked anything on Straw Hat Gumby's team. Nobody's counterpicked anything on the Longest Dong's team. Fuck, dude. This is tough. But Brady's getting bullied over here. 2 counter picks on the Brady team.
I thought about making it a third.
For
Not
what?
gonna lie.
For what? Prison Architect?
Prison Architect, but it's got a date.
God.
I can't do it because it's got a date.
And it scored decently high for the original.
I'm between a couple of expansions. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Because I think that certain... This is so hard. I've been dogged before by the counter pick. I've been destroyed.
Yeah. You picked Alan Wake 2 last year.
I picked Alan Wake 2 last year. The year before, or 2 years before, I picked Arceus, Legends of Arceus. We got 15 points.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous with a counter pick like this. And at this point, I'm just going to pick something that I believe It might give me -10, but I can live with it. I'm picking World of Warcraft: The War Within.
That's fair.
As my counter pick.
That is fair. Brady is up with the counter pick.
This is tough. Brady, I know you want to pick Prison's Architect too.
Yeah, just pick your own. You can pick your own thing.
I don't think you can.
I think you can.
I didn't see any of my games.
Okay.
There, so. But yeah. Because then you just get 0 points from that pick. But
Bet
man,
against yourself.
Yeah. You know what? I was wrong. That was dumb. Lions advanced to the NFC Championship against the Niners.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I love the Lions.
I also
Dan
thought
Campbell,
about
dude.
I thought about Outlaws.
I thought about Outlaws too.
Yeah. I also thought about going real hard and saying Destiny 2 and Bungie are just so lost right now.
Yeah, the thing is, there's no games on here that I feel really confident that are A, not coming out, or B, if they do come out, are not going to be like destroy me.
Yeah.
That's just done at this point.
For me, Animal Well also was on my board of a potential counter.
Animal Well's going to be good.
But it's too guaranteed to come out this year. Still waiting on Brady's counter pick. The counter pick's the hardest pick to make by a lot, I think. They counter picked the Plucky Squire. Bold. Because honestly, that game lasted way too long on everyone's board. Like, it should have been picked a lot earlier, in my opinion. I'd rather have that game than the likes of Helldivers, I would say. And yeah, no, it's a bold pick because if it comes out, I think it could win Indie of the Year next year.
Yep.
Actually, Earthblade Hades, never mind.
Batted Degree is up with their counter pick.
And they pick Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
I already gave you one. My whole thing with the Banishers, though, is it's coming out. It's really hard to pick a game that's coming out. Connor, close this out.
Okay, let me just do a quick run through of everything real fast.
Yeah. And then at the end, we'll go back and forth reading off teams. I'll take evens, you take odds. Oh, man. Oh, there's a night game on tonight.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Forgot about the Chiefs. This is going faster than I thought. Everyone did a great job of drafting fast.
Yep.
Good job
We're
there.
doing great. We're doing great. Fuck. Dude, Shane's team is too good.
Shane's team is just so guaranteed. It's all guarantees. People without a counter pick right now. Connor has a counter pick against him.
So here's the thoughts. Here's the thoughts.
I have a counter pick against me.
I have 3 possible games here. And I can say it because I'm the last one to go. I have Metro Prime 4.
Yep.
Which, if it comes out, absolutely fucking kills me.
Yep.
I have South Park Snow Day,
Yep.
which is mainly a mobile game, as I understand it. This isn't like the new Fractured But Whole or anything like that.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was...
no, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. It's a mainly mobile game that is being ported to like everything else.
Cool.
But that has an early release date, and it's got an IP behind it that people love. And then Destiny 2: The Final Shape. I think if I do draft it, the most likely outcome is an 80, and I get -10 points, and I can live with that.
So for me, if I was in your spot, with the way you reacted to Metroid Prime 4, I'd pick Metroid Prime 4. Because you are so convinced. You said, there's no way this game comes out. It's not happening. And now you're admitting to yourself the truth that I've known all along. That Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out the Switch 2 with a 3D Mario game this year.
I'm going to go against what Nick is telling me right now because I know that he's just yapping to get me to do what he wants me to do.
I told you I'd pick the Plucky Squire, and
I'm taking Destiny 2: The Final Shape with my final pick. All right, that was a fantastic draft. Thank you guys so much. I will read off. We'll go back and forth.
Yep.
Read the team and then the counter pick.
Yep.
Thank you all for your generous donations and amazing support on Co-op 64 Day, which allowed you guys to be a part of this. It was an amazing day, and we love having you guys here with us for this. This was a ton of fun. So let's get into the picks. CE Project Red, Connor's team, myself. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Unicorn Overlord, Mina the Hollower, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and the Plucky Squire with Destiny 2: The Final Shape as their counter pick.
I will admit, Connor, that I think that this is a really, really solid team. The best pick in your draft is easily Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It's going to come out. It's going to review well, and I'm really concerned.
We're going to find out soon. We're going to find out soon.
BD Studios, Batted Degrees. First pick was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, then Black Myth Wukong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, Destiny 2: The Final Shape, and then close it out with something that was pretty high up on my board, Star Wars Outlaws, and their counterpick was Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
I think their most solid pick for what could get them the most points is Black Myth Wukong, but their safest pick is Final Fantasy VII.
I think the Star Wars Outlaws the snipe at the end of the draft.
It could be big if it comes out.
If it comes out, I think that is a guaranteed 80. For your 5th pick to get an 80 is great.
Right.
And then I think it can go up to an 88. I think it's a really, really solid pick if it comes out.
Princess Brady from Co-op 64 picked Persona 3 Reload, Princess Peach Showtime, Helldivers 2, Indiana Jones The Great Circle, and Prison Architect 2 with a counter pick of The Plucky Squire.
At the end of the day, think that Indiana Jones The Great Circle is the make or break for this team. I enjoy the rest of the team. I think there's a lot of 80 plus, 85 pluses on this squad, but Indiana Jones The Great Circle, putting all your faith in machine games, it's a bet that you don't lose too often if you put all your money on machine games.
Princess Peach Showtime could be an X factor as well. We think that it's mid-80s. It could be low 90s. Yeah. Potentially, if it's Nintendo. If it's really that good, like, it could be up there.
Cobra Kai Studios, because I never died, it's my studio. Metaphor, ReFantazio, Atlas Don't Miss, Rise of the Ronin, unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer, Visions of Mana, and Penny's Big Breakaway, with World of Warcraft, The War Within as my counter pick. I'll let you commentate on it.
I think you and I have very similar counter picks.
Yep.
Where it's like, if it comes out, I don't think it kills you.
Yep.
But it's probably going to come out, and it's probably going to be pretty good. So I think we're accepting the fact that we're going to lose points.
I'm betting on my skill to, in these next 4 pickups, counteract a counter pick.
Right.
Where I'm not going to just pick up something that's going to give me 7 points. I think I have a chance to pick up a couple games after this draft, literally immediately after, that can get me 15.
Right. Ubi Rock Hard, Smalls, Dragon's Dogma 2, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Little Nightmares 3, and Stellar Blade with a counter pick, a ballsy counter pick, with the unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer.
I mean, at the end of the day,
it's a great team.
It's a great
really
team.
Solid team.
I think that, just to run down, I think that these are all 80 plus games.
What's the biggest risk?
The biggest risk is easily Silent Hill 2 remake, and it
does
get counterpicked. Hellblade 2, in my mind, is the most 85 game guaranteed of all time, where you're getting 15 points from it. Almost locked and loaded.
I'm worried about Dragon's Dogma 2, as I said earlier. Yeah, but I think it's still...
But then you have things like Little Nightmares 3, Stellar Blade, that I'm just like, those are great games. And then, although the counterpick is very gutsy, Silent Hill 2 Remake, if it comes out, it's a remake of one of the greatest games of all time. Right. Remakes don't really miss too often. It's normally better than the original. Right. So you gotta feel pretty good about that squad. Next up, we have Big Mac, Big McDonald's Farm, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Alan Wake 2 Night Springs, Home World 3, and World of Goo 2 with Shadows of the Ninja Reborn as their counterpick. Where do we want to start with this one?
I think they have a really safe, amazing first pick with Thousand Year Door. That was really high up on my draft board. And then Microsoft Flight Simulator right back to back with that. That's like those are 2 top 5 picks for me.
Yeah, for me, they're both in my top 10. It is easy to see the guaranteed points. I think that this team is the least sexy team. Where, like, there's not a lot of sex appeal. You don't have your 3D Mario. You don't have your Silent Hill 2. You don't have your Elden Ring. But at the end of the day, this team is going to pull out points when it comes to Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
There's nothing less sexy than the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But man, is that some guaranteed high points right there for you.
It's like drafting a Horizon or a GT, where it's like, the people that play those games, they review very, very well.
Next up is Alex the Golden, Horny Warden, BBC, BBL, CBD, OSHA, LLC, with Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2, Frostpunk 2, Stalker 2, I didn't realize they had so many 2s on his team, Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, and Silent Hill 2 Remake as their counter pick. This is an X Factor team for me. Like, these aren't my kind of games, but Alex seems more in tune, based off of his type of games, to these type of games.
Yep.
So he would know.
Yeah.
He knows more than me.
This is one of those things of... I expect him to be begging us to play some Space Marine 2 with him, to play some of these games with him. Stalker 2, these games are gonna hit. They're gonna be a lot of fun. I also think that there's a little bit of belief bias going on here, where it's like, I really want Space Marine 2 to kick ass, and I think that
I hope it comes out. I
hope it comes out this year. I hope it's good. And at the end of the day, I think that this team, much like Smalls, lives and dies with this counterpick. If Silent Hill 2 comes out, you're fucked. It's over. So
It's Bloober Team though. That is the issue.
Connor, it's Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. I am resting my laurels on the fact with Silent Hill 2, they can't fuck it up because how do you fuck up Silent Hill 2? It's
the
already
music,
basically perfect.
the story,
right?
The gameplay.
So just make it look a little bit better, please.
Big Baller Gaming, Shane, our fourth member's team, has Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Tekken 8, Animal Well, Rift of the Necrodancer, Path of Exile 2, and Helldivers 2 as their counterpick.
What is the big storyline here for me? Nobody counterpicked anything on Shane's team.
Yep.
That's a big W for Shane there. I think that's a really solid lineup.
He's going to start out with 36 points at the start of this year with Tekken 8 and Infinite Wealth. Yeah. And then he's going to be able to pivot wherever he wants to go. I also think that because he's going to have those guarantees early on in the year, he's going to be able to save some of his cash for a Nintendo Direct, for a State of Play, for a showcase around E3 season, and come out swinging with $70 on a Mario Kart 8 or a new Mario Kart, $70 on a Donkey Kong, $70 on a Final Fantasy IX remake. These games that are the pie in the sky games. If one delivers, he has a safe enough team that he'll have some cash to throw around at the end.
Helldivers 2 though, with the counter pick,
you're terrified of it. I think it's a great counter pick.
I think it's a horrible.
Or I think it's a good counter pick.
No, I think this game is going to be in the high 80s.
I think it's low 80s. In that, so
87.
82.
Want to bet?
What are we talking?
Above an 85, below an 85.
If it's an 85, we tie?
Yes.
Deal.
Put it on the board.
What's the bet? 6-pack of beer?
Sure.
Great.
Helldivers 2 believers, get in the chat. Get with me.
Blue Moons, coming my way.
All right.
Grand Line Global Straw Hat Gumpies. Oh, did I read that one?
No, I'm reading Straw Hat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Grand Line Global, Straw Hat Gumby, Hades 2, Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, Earthblade, Final Fantasy 16 The Rising Tide, and World of Warcraft The War Within, with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle as their counter pick. A lot of expansions here that are very safe, guaranteed points. You gotta respect that.
It's the safety, and then there is the spice. This is what I discuss with every team that I love and enjoy. Hades 2 and Earthblade, two of the greatest indie developers coming back out with another game. Like, you gotta feel good with this squad. You gotta feel good with Dawn Trail coming out and performing. Is there a world where Dawn Trail doesn't get an 85 or better? 84 or better? I don't think so. Like, and for something that is going to come out, because they don't really postpone their expansions, from my memory.
They did for COVID with Endwalker.
Okay, that's COVID. I feel really good. I did think about counterpicking the Rising Tide just because the first one DLC did not perform as well.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, no.
82.
I don't want to bet against that.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet against it because I want it to be really
great.
Good.
Yeah. And then I think the other large headline is, I think that they could get screwed over with the Indiana Jones game. With that being said, there's also a really damn good chance it doesn't come out.
Right.
That game is coming out March next year, if I were to guess.
Indiana Jones?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
And then to close it out, the man, the myth, the longest of dongs. Alec McLong dongs, the longest dong picked. Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. Hollow Knight, Silksong, Pacific Drive, Metroid Prime 4, South Park Snow Day, and World of Goo 2. Where do you want to start?
This is quite possibly the biggest,
risk.
Yeah, it could pay off like crazy here with Snake Eater, Silksong, Metro Prime 4, man. And World of Goo as well, for a counter pick, very easily could find itself not coming out this year. We don't know a ton about the game. It's just the initial trailer, and that's it. But it is a long time coming. The sequel to World of Goo has been wanted for a very long time. So I imagine it does come out this year, but man.
Every single team at most has one risk.
Yeah.
This team has three. And honestly, this is one of those things that it's we got Josh Gordon getting drafted here. We got some of these high flashy players that if they come out and do well, you win the league.
They just gotta stay off
the weed. And in this case, I think that Silksong needs to deliver. I think that it would, but if you
needs to come out, and Metro Prime needs to find its way back onto the scene somehow.
For me, here's the thing. I do think that there's a February Direct. And I do think Metroid Prime 4 has a really good shot to be that game.
But would it just be on Switch then?
Both.
But how do they do that? How do they say that?
They
don't say anything about the Switch 2?
Same deal with Thousand Year Door. I think they're both Switch 2 games also. And so if that is the case, I think that's like I said, majority of me feels like this game is just gonna be a Switch 2. It's gonna be in the launch cycle. But if February had a direct and we were to place bets on what they could show, I feel like Metroid Prime 4 is that game. It's the only thing that they really could show.
Something that really makes a lot of sense. Yeah, honestly.
So
I don't hate it.
Yeah. And then Silk Song and Snake Eater, I between Silent Hill 2 and Snake Eater, I said Snake Eater has a much better shot of coming out.
I have more confidence in
Silent Hill 2. So. And then World War 2, I think it's a gutsy pick, but I think most likely it's a 0. And that's
I think that is quite possibly the most likely 0 on here. The best. I think that might be the best counter pick.
Which, I mean, it's
just based off a release date. If it comes out, it's
had 50 options, and he might have picked the best one with his first choice. So good on you, Alex.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick, personally.
All right,
that is the draft. Throughout the season, we will all bid. We have $100 to bid on games. 100 in-game dollars, of course, not 100 real dollars. To bid on games, to be able to pick up and fill up our roster. We all have 4 spots left on our team. You can drop 3 games throughout the year if they do not come out, or they get a release date that is past.
By the way, there's some good games left. Like Avowed is the #1 hype game.
I currently have
there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, no. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16 games left that I could have drafted in this that were in my top 50.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really good titles.
So we will all bid on games as they get announced, as they get release dates. We will bid throughout the year, fill up our teams, drop stuff, pick stuff up, and we will do a mid-year check-in, and we will do a next-year check-in for who won and the final score total. This was an amazing draft. Everybody did a fantastic job. Thank you all so much for being here and rocking with us. We're going to get into the rest of the podcast real quick here, and we're going to do a quick draft, and we're going to discuss some of the hottest games that are currently released and are releasing. So if Nick can finish what he's doing.
I'm making a pickup right now.
No, you're not.
No.
What is it? How much are you bidding? Tell me.
$100.
$100?
Yeah, all of it.
Well, it's Sunday, so this will show up on Thursday.
Yep.
So the way the picks work is if you pick between Monday and Thursday, the pick will show up.
Oh, you banned partial remakes.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Brothers.
Oh, yeah, you can't draft that.
What?
That might as well be a remaster. I don't even know why they're calling it a remake. It just looks better. It's just up-res.
Oh, okay. I just wanted those free 10 points, because that's free 10 points.
Yeah, that is free 10 points.
Fair enough.
Right.
I was like, how is that not?
We should put these away.
Yep.
I did think about this. This is insider baseball for those watching the podcast. Why not just exit Discord and then switch to? Would it just be a black screen for a second?
Oh, potentially, yeah.
I think that's better and more quality. So we are going to cut you guys off here in the Discord. You are going to be able to leave. I apologize for not getting to watch the rest of the full podcast, but you'll see it tomorrow early in the morning. At least it'll give you something to enjoy. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. We are still going on the podcast. No pregnant pauses here. We will continue to talk. How is everybody doing? How's everybody's day? The Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl, baby. I'm not even a Lions fan, but I appreciate them greatly. I hope they win it all. We got a good game going tonight. I'm dating ourselves right now. That was a very fantastic draft. The boys did amazingly. We appreciate them greatly for doing so. We're going to get into discussion on Tekken 8, the Tekken 8 demo, and The Last of Us No Return mode here shortly. Just popped up.
There we go. Yay.
As the visuals are back. Hello, everybody.
We're no longer mirrored.
We are no longer mirrored, so we don't freak everybody out.
Yeah.
There we go. The visuals are better because we're not streaming through Discord. Everything looked good on that end. Everything's coming through. We're still recording. Yep. Fantastic. Tekken 8.
God, I wanted to be blown away.
Uh-huh.
And this just might be my naivete when it comes to Tekken and when it comes to fighting games overall. But I wasn't blown away. I had a good time with this game, thus the demo. I felt powerful as these characters, but at the end of the day, it did not blow me away. And when it comes to the story mode that I will be hopping into this next weekend for review and everything, I'm excited. I'm not as excited as I was jumping into MK1. And that's sort of just where I'm at. And I don't want this conversation to be too long because we're going to have a full review next week. We're going to do the mailbag episode. If you want to write in the comment section for this, also we're going to be pulling from Discord. We'll be pulling from a couple of other areas. But if you want to write in for the mailbag episode, drop your comments or questions for gaming related for Connor and myself in this podcast on YouTube. And you can do it on Spotify. There's a way to make a comment on Spotify, and I read those. But yeah, I was not blown away. And MK1 blew me away. Street Fighter 6 demo blew me away. I wasn't blown away. And that's sort of where, when we were talking about the draft, I was like, I can see an 83. I can see an 84. I can see a 79 potentially. I wasn't blown away.
I think the people who love Tekken and have experience with it and are nerds for it like the heavy feeling.
It's heavy, but also I saw the move chart of like how in depth this game is when it comes to fighting games, and it's like, holy shit, like this is way beyond me. But I do think that the accessibility for non-hardcore fighting games is an important thing that MK1 and Street Fighter 6 do really well, and that opens it up for people like, I'm just gonna throw this out there, someone like Blessing, who is a little bit newer into fighting games and everything, but like has played a lot of fighting games recently and everything. It's going to be a little bit of a smack in the face when you first dive into this game.
But why is that necessarily a bad thing? Why can't there be like your nerdy, really in-depth
there can
fighting games? Why can't if they don't want to, if they want to differentiate themselves, that seems like a great way to do it. You know what I mean?
And this game will be played at Evos for years to come. And what I'm saying is, when it comes to my review, when it comes to we are the casual gaming conversation. We are not this over-the-top, grandiose thing that, like, I have my skill set and what I'm good and know about talking about. When it comes to fighting games, you expect a little bit more of a casual discussion when it comes to these in-depth conversations. What I'm saying is, it could, if the story hits the way that I want to, and I know the Tekken 8 or Tekken story at this point very well, if it hits the way I want to, I could see up to an 8.5 and maybe even a 9. And this is only playing about an hour and a half of the demo. But at the end of the day, I could also see me going all the way down to a 7.5 or a 7 for this game.
Damn.
Which I did not expect.
For you specifically, though, but like you have to factor in the fact that, like, we'll talk about this. We haven't really discussed this outside of this, like, you have to if the review is coming from a perspective of a layman who isn't like huge into fighting games, that needs to be your thesis.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like,
which I mean, that's my thesis right now.
Which I almost feel like giving a game a score at that point isn't necessarily viable because it gives something like really hard and definitive. Whereas you really want people to listen to.
We might not end up putting it on a score.
Just give your words. Let your words really be the defining thing for it, because like. If you explain the fact that, like, well, I'm not a huge fighting game fan, I like the accessibility features of new fighting games to get people in, like, we could, like, but with Tekken 8, they don't have those, so it's a lot more difficult to get into. But then
there's things like combo sheets and stuff like that I, when I'm reviewing a game like this, do look at. I do try to get in my bag when it comes to, hey, like, this is all this game has to offer, and you guys will see next week whether I give it a score or not, and whether I'm comfortable giving it a score or not. Where I land on that, but like I will be giving this the full on what does this game have to offer to me viewpoint Friday, Saturday, Sunday as I'm reviewing it, and most likely I will give it a score if I were to guess at this point.
These are discussions that we need to have though, because just full transparency. We always want to have full transparency with the audience. That we are not well versed in every genre of video game.
Totally.
Nick doesn't have a huge history of playing fighting games. He's kind of playing catch up right now. I have no history playing fighting games. I've never really gotten into them. They're not my cup of tea. I'm more of like a story based third person action game type of person,
or JRPG,
first person shooter. But like I play a lot of everything. But like racers for the most part, not my
that's my
huge
bag.
Cup of tea. Nick is trying to be the racer and the fighting game guy for Co-op 64, and they're. What comes with that and why his opinion is valuable is there's a lot of people like Nick or like me who don't have this like major experience with them. So if you're trying to get into it, Nick's a great person to look to be like, well, he's new to it. What does he think about it? I'm new to it. Is this opinion valuable to me?
I think the big review that we can go back to and what I discussed about it was Forza Motorsport, where it was like, hey, I'm not into GT in a major way, but I like the Horizon games a lot. How does that transfer over? And I end up giving that game a like 8.5-ish, but also understanding the fact that like if someone gave it a 9 or higher, I'm like, okay, I see the reasoning behind that. And it made my top 10. And is there a world where Tekken 8 could make my top 10? Absolutely.
Right.
But I at this point don't see that being the case just by playing the demo.
It's very early days though.
I'm really excited to play this game though still.
Right.
I'm really excited to learn. I want to see what the story allows when it comes to the learning aspect of this game, of how exactly do I need to be rolling and dodging and punching compared to because like a lot of these fighting mechanics, the best part of this game is the different fighting styles that it presents. Even these four characters that you get to play as in the demo, it says what their specialty in martial arts is, and it's fucking awesome. And like stuff like that gets me hyped. I want to learn these characters. Getting to play as 4 characters, once again, I'm saying that like this is a demo, this is not my in-depth review at all, is when we get 20 characters to play as and I start to learn and like figure out who's my person, that's where a lot of the fun in fighting games comes from for myself. And I think a lot of people is who's overpowered, who feels good to play as, who's janky and everything, who doesn't play well. I think that when I started playing Liu Kang and MK1, I was like, oh, I found my person and I feel good with these combos and I like this. Whereas Tekken, I'm excited to find my person, figure out what throws I need to learn, figure out what combos that I need to dial in. And that's where the experience of playing a fighting game becomes really fun. I also expect to give online a really good shot in this game, and I think that there's a great chance I find a bunch of fun in that. So right now, tentatively fearful, but still very excited to hop in come Friday night, play a shit ton of it Friday night. I'm curious
what the broader Tekken community feels about it so far.
Yeah.
I really haven't heard any takes, I'm not tuned into this.
Well, I've heard a lot of people are enjoying the demo. And when they're enjoying the demo, I'm like, I understand where the enjoyment comes in from, not only from a long-running Tekken fan, but just the idea of, like, you feel powerful as these characters. That's something you don't get in a lot of other fighting games. And that's a good feeling. Some of these fucking some of these punches, you are like, holy shit, I feel good. When this got revealed back in the September 2021 Direct, or State of Play, it was like, all right, this game looks good. It looks the part. And from visuals and music and style, it's all there. It now depends on how dialed is the gameplay and what do I get from this game. And I think I can get a lot out of it. Right now, though, the demo, it did not do... I wanted to leave my experience playing the demo. I played it over 2 days. I wanted to experience the demo and be like, this... By the end of the second day, I was like, I don't really want to get back to it. And I wanted something that made me want to get back to. MK1 is something I'm thinking about every single day because I want to get back to it.
Speaking of demos, I think I'm going to hop into the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink demo here shortly. It's I downloaded it last night. I'm excited for this game. I think it looks fantastic. Long time coming. So I'll probably have impressions next week, hopefully for that. Fast approaching.
Yep.
It's coming out very soon.
That and P3 Reload is just one of those things that our coverage, we don't want to give a definitive scheduling of exactly how we're covering these games, whether it's due to we don't know whether we're going to get codes or not. At this point, it doesn't seem like we are for either of these games. So it's sort of just like, if we're playing these games day and date, you guys will get reviews for those type of games, but it might just be a while. We don't want to give a promise of, hey, we're going to beat P3 in a week and get a code out.
Goodness. That's the thing is, like, I could see P3's review coming out right before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out. Yeah. Just because it's so long. And I honestly, like, it's one of those situations where, like, I want to enjoy the game still and have a good time playing it. But I want to get it out in a timely fashion. So, like, it's just a matter of, like, man, like, it's a job hazard.
The worst part with Connor is so defined in some of the roles that he plays in the company, and the fact that P3 Reload and Grand Blue are your games. Like, those are games both that you want to play.
Basically on the same
and
day.
Like they come out on the same day, and it doesn't look like we're getting codes for either. And it's like, how the fuck are we gonna be able to play these games? Expect reviews, but it might take a while. Things like Tekken, easy for me. Short story, exciting, but Connor's gonna have quite the undertaking. So if he misses a stream or something, he might be doing something else. So just leave it at that.
And let's hop into the Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Remastered?
Yep.
Right, not remake. no return mode. Nick and I have both touched it a little bit at this point, not too much. Nick did a 3-hour stream for it. I played about 2-3 hours last night. I feel conflicted about this.
Really?
Yes. Man, is it fun to play this game, dude.
That's where I was like, I'm curious to see where the confliction comes into play.
But I don't love how slow it is to start, if that makes sense. Like starting and fighting 3 guys, and then 3 guys, and then once you got deeper into the run, I was like, oh, okay, now this is really picking up, and like it's more intense. And I was hitting headies, dude. I was absolutely hitting headshots. I'm good at this fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to do the Last of Us Part 1 grounded mode streams, because I'm like, man, this is gonna let me practice a little bit, just to like kind of, because I was playing on hard to the jump.
I played through every single difficulty from medium all the way up, wanting to see what that skill ladder looked like. I was getting my ass handed to when I started going up the ladder past hard. I gave hard a good shot multiple times. I gave medium a good shot, and I played as Dina, Ellie, Abby.
Okay, yeah, I just played as Abby and Ellie to start. I unlocked Dina and I think Lev is the next person to unlock.
I have Lev unlocked. I have Jesse unlocked, I believe. Okay.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it with
someone. So it's fun. Gene Park from the Washington Post, I think he put out a review for it, and his headline was removing the humanity from The Last of Us Part 2 with The Last of Us Remastered. And that's how I feel playing No Return, where it's like, I think he put it really eloquently with that title, that like you're supposed to feel bad killing these people, and there's so many story implications when it comes to like the ferocity and the intensity of running away from people, hitting headshots, creeping up behind people and choking them out, and then just making it like into an arcadey fun mode feels weird, like automatically, and it's making me just want to play the campaign again, really badly. I'm like, oh, now I just really want to play this fucking game. You have a little on that eye.
Thank you.
But removing all the context from it and just making it to this arcadey fun to just mass murder people mode is just like, it just feels weird and wrong, but it's still fucking fun.
So much fun. So for me, there's no confliction. This game is badass. It's an excuse to go and have, like, as much as I disagree with these people that say, hey, the gameplay's there, but the story sucks or whatever about The Last of Us Part 2, I completely disagree with that. I think it's a masterpiece. But to get just basically the gameplay on a silver platter, it's a really good time, because the gameplay is always with The Last of Us Part 2 been like so elite. And god damn, I think the headline for me is, why can't we have factions? Like, why can't we?
Oh, dude, the crates, the little crates that you're digging into, those are totally crates from factions.
Oh
my god, dude, it makes me so mad.
The worst part is, I'm like, the assets on these maps are there.
Just make a multiplayer suite and just, I don't, like, build out these maps a little bit more. It doesn't need to be this forever game. Just give me some sort of multiplayer to replay this amazing gameplay.
But with that being said, I do agree that it does feel a little arcadey at times. It does feel a little slow at times. If I were to give it
is slow those first few rounds.
If I were to give it a score, I would give it a 9, just because the gameplay and the fun factor is there so much.
I need to way more into it to give
it it's the slow rounds are slow. I do think that also something that I didn't really expect that is completely there and full-fledged is the different game modes within just the roguelike. I thought that it was literally every single round was you're taking on normal people. I didn't know that there was a mode where, not just infected, but there's infected modes versus people modes versus wolf modes. And then there's also the aspect of these... sometimes you're getting chased and like more people getting added. Sometimes you're going after just a select amount of people and you need to just take out those people, then it moves you further, take out these people, moves you further. I was blown away with how much actual content is in this. I think a lot of people are giving it shit for being $10 when Valhalla was free. Guess what? Valhalla is a ridiculous package that will probably never come out. Take it as your Christmas present that Sony gave you in December.
But also, you're only getting Valhalla. You're not getting an up-res. I know it doesn't look that much better, but like you're not getting an up-resed base game, PS5 version with some, and then the lost levels as well, and the director commentary. Like, think that's worth $10. $10 is, I mean, $10 is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna disparage anybody for.
I mean, we're idiots that don't get codes, so that means we spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars when it comes to gaming. We don't have high expensive jobs or anything like that. We understand that like this is a lot of our income that goes towards gaming, so we're not.
But for $10, that's a great
it's totally
package.
worth it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think they should have charged for Valhalla and would have been totally valid and do it. I think they could have charged $30 for Valhalla and it would have made sense.
I think they could have charged $50.
Really?
I think they could have, and they would have not.
They would have gotten away with it.
They would have gotten away with it.
People would have been mad, but
people, that's when it always comes back to. There's people that would be mad, and then when it comes down to the dollars and cents, that's why I say it's a Christmas gift. Where I was like, came out, Sony just wanted to be like, hey, this game is terrific. This gameplay is terrific. We want to give you guys a little something.
They should have saved it for later, just based off of the way that the year is panning out. If they saved Valhalla for like mid-year of this year, like, and charged money for it if they wanted to, or just gave it away for free again, that would have alleviated a lot of the pain that a lot of people are going to feel over this next year of. Where's the Sony first-party games? Yeah. Where are they? Like, I think it just would have made a lot of sense. But they didn't need it then because we just had Spider-Man.
Like, well, we had Spider-Man close enough, and we had this coming out a month later.
Right. It just didn't really make a lot of sense.
So it didn't make a lot of sense. But I enjoyed this. I'm having a blast with it. I
can't wait to get back to it. Yeah, I wanted to play more today. I had to write my scripts for the top 50, and I wanted to like just really dig more into it, man. But I'm excited to play more.
I want at least and we might do it during. We have a 12-hour stream coming up this Saturday.
We should definitely play
we might just be able to pass the controller, have a good time. I would love to get Brady on the sticks playing it too. Having some fun there because he loves The Last of Us.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, man,
write that one down.
So smart.
You just pop it up. So much bonus content. Oh my goodness, man.
We just came off of me playing The Last of Us roguelike mode. That was one of the pieces of bonus content.
And doing the Doug challenge for 6 hours yesterday, basically.
Dude, my body was exhausted in a way that I was like, yeah, it was like you just drove 6 hours because I was driving for 6 hours, and then also it was you just ate 4,000 calories worth of food.
Oh, it was ridiculous. At least 4,000. Yeah. That might be overshooting it.
Yeah.
Or undershooting it.
I'm so excited to eat dinner. I have not had dinner yet today.
All right. Well, we're going to get into the GameCube games draft here. Do you have it off the dome? You're just going off the dome?
No,
here?
I have it listed.
All right. We'll pull it up, my boy.
Yep. You want me to... who's
I'm
first
getting
pick?
the first pick.
So you intro it. And then you say, with my first pick. Man, oh man. What a day to be alive.
I feel conflicted now off of
your first pick?
Yeah.
You have an easy first pick.
Because I could play the board here. All right, ready?
Yep.
Today we are drafting GameCube games. And with my first overall pick, I'm switching it up on myself here. I'm not taking what's first listed for me, but I think the fans will appreciate it. We're going Metroid Prime with my first overall pick. Bringing the Metroid series into 3D, doing it flawlessly. Retro Game Studios did a fantastic job. One of the greatest games of all time. One of the highest reviewed games of all time. Metroid Prime with my first pick.
That's the number 4 on my board. I have 3 games ahead of it. I'm going to kick us off with a perfect video game, Resident Evil 4.
That was my number 1.
Yeah,
I thought you wouldn't pick it.
And then I'm going to go, this is a pick your favorite, choose what you want. I'm going to go with Twilight Princess with my next pick.
Nice.
So I have Resident Evil 4 and Twilight Princess to start out the draft. I feel really good about it. Yeah, you're going to get a really good 1-2 out of this.
This is why I feel great now after that. I felt bad after your first pick. I feel extra good after
that I wasn't going to go Zelda and pick something else and then hope a Zelda fell to me?
Potentially.
Okay.
Because I'm going to go Super Smash Bros. Melee with my second overall pick. Has the argument to go first overall. One of the greatest fighting games of all time.
If not the greatest.
The highest selling game, I believe,
I have no idea.
on GameCube, but probably the most prolific nowadays. Super Smash Bros. Melee with my second pick. With my third pick, we're going with The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, a game that was met with a lot of consternation at release. A lot of people were upset with the art style with Wind Waker, but has become a absolute classic as time has gone on. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker with my third pick.
With my third pick, I'm going to pick The 1,000-Year Door.
Ooh.
I think that it's a game that is not discussed enough. It's getting a remake 2024. A lot of people are very excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome. And then if you guys know me, this fourth pick is going to be very easy. I'm the person that loves fun per minute in a game, and it does not get more fun than when you can plug in 4 controllers into a GameCube and boot up Mario Kart Double Dash. It's just perfect fun. The switching mechanic of being able to throw different items, the specialty items, it's terrific. It is one of the best Mario Kart games, and it has a case to be the best Mario Kart game, in my opinion. So, yeah, I feel good with my team thus far. It is a little annoying that the number one, if you got the number 1 pick, that means you got one of the top, or 3 of the top 5. The top 5, I think, are just definitive.
Right. With my number 4 pick, I'm going to go with Super Mario Sunshine, please. Sunshine is a difficult but rewarding Mario platformer, oozing with style with its tropical setting. I love Mario Sunshine. Still not beating it. It kicks my ass.
It was not even on my board.
You're out of your gourds, dude.
Not even on my board.
Out of your mind.
Here's the thing. The GameCube's just too damn good. But it's a good game. It's just too damn good.
I have so many possible ways to go here.
Yep.
I can go with the niche pick. I can go with the popular pick here. Yep. I can go with my heart. And I'm going with my heart here. And I think I'll have my people with me. Get in the comments if you're with me here. SSX Tricky, baby.
I don't even know.
Tricky! Oh my goodness. Just arcadey, fun snowboarding, dude. Lots of style, lots of substance. Love SSX Tricky. Bring back SSX, dude. Come on.
And we're going to have some fun. I'm going to go with my next pick and pick Mario Strikers.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. There's no better gaming memories than kicking the soccer ball around and screaming, go! Playing on the GameCube. It's a great time. And with my last pick, I'm going to go with one of...
That's not your last pick?
I don't think so.
What do you have?
Wait, Thousand Year Door, double... Oh, that was my last pick. Okay, cool. I feel good about that.
Honorable mentions here because they're so
Soul
fucking
Calibur 2 would have been my next pick.
Soul Calibur 2, Pokemon Coliseum,
Tales of Symphonia.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, and Pikmin 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? There's so many great fucking games. Tony Hawk's, we didn't even talk about Tony Hawk's on the console.
None of us picked a Hawk, dude.
Oh my, Super Monkey Ball? Come on. Skies of Arcadia? Dude, this GameCube is insane.
Yeah, GameCube is definitively a top 5 console just off the library alone. It is
number 4 overall for me.
What's what? PS1,
SNES, PS4, GameCube, and what do I usually say for this? I have this somewhere in my brain. Switch is what I would say at 5.
For me, I think I'm PS4, PS1, 360, GameCube, Switch.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Actually, a Switch than GameCube. I'd rather have a Switch than a GameCube for the rest of my life.
No, I disagree.
Breath of the Wild,
Twilight Princess,
Odyssey,
Sunshine. We just named so many great fucking games.
Connor, real quick. I just said Odyssey and you said Sunshine. Don't even start with that one.
I'm just saying.
But Resident Evil 4 is a good pull.
And
Metroid Prime is also on the Switch.
Wind Waker, Metroid Prime 2, Melee. Come on.
Ultimate? Come on.
Oh, all right.
Wait, was Melee on your top 50 list? Because I think Ultimate was.
Yeah.
All right.
It's close. It's close.
This was a long, fun fucking podcast.
It's almost exactly 2 hours.
Wow.
All right. That was the Casual Gaming Conversation, your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. That was a lot of fun. We did the draft. We did a second draft right after it. We talked about some games. No hot takes this week just because it's a
2-hour podcast already.
We appreciate you guys being here. We stream 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10. Thank you so much for the support on the weekend content, the extra bonus content. We have a 12-hour stream coming up on Saturday, which is a lot of fun, which you guys funded. New TikToks every single day.
We are streaming Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10.
I already hit that.
Dude, I'm so tired right now.
I already hit it, buddy. And this goes up at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Thank you guys.
It's also on Spotify.
It's also on Spotify now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate you. Peace out.